Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Workshop. Hopefully this isn't going to be a long stay. I had a visitor yesterday, a lad called Chris Pritchard. He brought me two radios which I sent him away with working. One of them had a little bang, but there you go. And also this which he just bought. This is a Cossor Melody Master. Here's the back, by the way, just here because I took it off already. That's the back with the aerial on. And this one does not work. Now, surprisingly, with this, I plugged it in despite its rather interesting lead, which I'll plug in again because I feel that way inclined tonight. There we go. And lights come on okay. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. As you can hear, there's absolutely nothing with this set. Nothing at all. Now, there could be a number of reasons for this, but in this particular case, I think the problem starts with the mains lead on this. I told you before that I didn't want, we won't plug this in, because really I don't, but I did that just to show you. Now the reason why I didn't want to plug it in is the mains lead on this radio appears to be replaced by something that is akin to a speaker cable, and it really shouldn't be carrying mains. The fact that it is doing suggests that someone somewhere doesn't know what they're doing. Now, in these sort of cases, really, the first thing we're going to do with this radio, which I'm just turning around so I can show you the back here. Yeah, that's the back, by the way. It's turning around like you see. This is the back of the radio in question, and it's there you go. It's a standard 3-wave band VHF, medium wave and long wave, and gram. This is a radio that uses the E series valves. It's got a transformer. It's quite clean. By the way, with Cossor sets, this one's uses the American markings. So, for example, if we take one random here, take it out. 6A, the AK8, by the way, is the American numbering for EABC80 and so on. So the fact that numbers aren't the ones that you're used to isn't a problem. If you get a valve data book or go online, you can find out what the valves should be. That's an EL84, that's an EZ80 and so forth. Like I said, this radio, I'm going to start by getting rid of this plug, because look at that cable. I mean, yeah, exactly. In the vintage radio trade, nothing is wasted. Because I've got here, or something that died, a cable which can go on here and will work this radio. Okay, it's white, but never mind that, you know. And it's also got a fuse in the plug as well. So hopefully this will go on there, and then we'll try it again. So with all sets, any set of this kind, power supply, power supply, audio, IF and RF, or pair. So always work your way from the plug to the aerial, taking all the bits on the way, even the ones that you don't like. It's simple as that. So, right, well, that is now out of the circuit. Now this, by the way, this cable is not suitable for that radio, and that it's plugged, by the way, just for the record, is something which needs to come off as well. Not only are the pins corroded a little bit, but also if you look with compare it with a modern plug like this one now on the radio, as you can see, this has doors on the end there, So if the plug goes in and your fingers go in the end, you can't get a shock. That's why the newer plugs have those on the end. The old ones don't. So those now cannot be put on new equipment to be taken off wherever possible. So that goes in the bin, and this now goes in here, and we'll see what happens with it now, because we want to see what if anything it'll do for us. The reading across the plug is okay. Lights are on, as you can see, and valves appearing to light up again, as I think you can see. And there's something to the speaker as well. Only that, but nothing else. But I'll say also that these valves do something. But that gets very, very hot. Therefore, I'm going to turn the radio off again, because if the grid capacitor gets faulty, which it will be on this, those tubes get warm anyway, and so because they get warm anyway, anything to make them warmer, such as bolts on the first grid, will kill them off in very short order. So with every radio come across, every radio, that capacitor has to be changed. And this one's a 0.01 microfarad. I've got those here, and also on top of that, of course, but then might possibly hear it singing. It depends how far it is. But after that, of course, we need to look further back, because it's not doing nothing on any bands, nothing at all, which means that it's either something on the audio side, or possibly this valve here, EABC80 or 6AK, I think this one is, but nothing apart from possibly the 8T, which goes to these. These IoT transformers are what's called multi-stacked. Because this is a VHF and a AM set, this is a VHF receiver here. Yeah, they actually use the first valve of the AM side as a pentode to provide extra application to this, and those two as well. They actually, the way it works, of course, one of these up here is for FM and one for AM, and there'll be one underneath as well. And I hope they're okay, because if not, we've got a slight problem on our hands, shall we say. But that's where we're up to now, and now, of course, we need to look inside and find out why it's not talking to us. It holds very nicely, but that isn't within which it's got to talk. So now we'll take it apart and have a look inside and find out why it's not doing anything like what it should be doing. But, well, on this set now, I've changed the grid cap and the output stage, and it still doesn't make any sound on speech or music at all. Now at this point, we have to do what's called fault finding. Now fault finding is quite simple. It's a lot, but it's something that gets a lot easier with practice. That's the main thing, practice. Now we know, for example, that the output potential side is working. Okay, that's working. That's fine, and so's the trial. Yeah, okay. So we know that side's okay. That side, by the way, is the side that forms part of the one valve in the one valve record player, but it's still doing absolutely nothing. So this set being a VHF and AM set, we look now at what valves are in it. Obviously, it's with it being a transistor set, we can pull valve out and have a look, but not just yet, because there's a quicker trick. If you've got a signal generator like mine over there, then you just do this. Don't touch, by the way, because it's I've not got a cap on the end of this, but so we know that signals are getting in some form back to the frequency change of the EC881. Now the EC881 has 3 points where it should receive power. The triode circuit and the heptode circuit. Now the pentodes, heptodes and like have power on 2 pins, the anode and of course the screen voltage as well. Like whether it's an EL84 or a pentode in the higher stage or that, it's the same applies. So look inside, and I found, because I looked at this already, I found that this has got power to the pentode section. Sorry, we've got power to the triode section, and it's got power to the anode of the heptode section. But there's nothing on the screen at all, nothing, no voltage there, nothing at all. Now, that is because there is a resistor which takes it up to deck up here, and of course it goes down to the deck as well. And looking at it, I find that if we go to deck and go onto the onto the ohmmeter section here, we find that the capacitor side of it looks to be okay, but this probably isn't. Now, if we now go from there to there, we should have 15k. We've got 19.24. Okay, fair enough. It's maybe this isn't okay. 19.24. Okay, that's that looks as though it might be all right. It's high, but it should do. Now, the voltage it gets comes from the power supply rail up top, so we've got to look a little bit further now, and therefore that goes to deck, that goes to 200 volts, okay, 600 then. Switch on and wait for the heater to warm up on the rectifier. When it does, there should be voltage on this pin here. Which at the moment there isn't. Got 200 volts there, but nothing here. Okay, fair enough. So yeah. So always with this sort of thing, always look a bit further, because it's amazing what you can find. This particular unit actually it appears to have a little bit of a problem. Don't know where, don't know how, but it does appear to have some kind of a problem. Now, there shouldn't be that on there without anywhere else, so we'll look a bit further. So we'll look now at that pentode stage, that triode heptode stage in a bit more detail, and try and find out why it's not doing anything it should, and why this voltage on there when this resistor goes up to deck, so up to power supply, which it does. So get the circuit out and have a look again and find out, which I'll do very quickly and come back to you. Hello and welcome back, of course. A couple of days later on this now, but I've been a bit busy. But back to it now, by the way. What I've done, the audio side of it now works as the power supply side, PA, okay? Now, the only problem that therefore is it then goes over to the wave change switch, which is here under the chassis, and going from one to the other was a piece of wire, a piece of coax, and that piece of wire was open circuit, and that was why there's no little audio. I've replaced that now, and as you can hear,
Taron, who is a chief
there we are.
of an
It now works fine on medium wave only.
But
medium wave only, because the next problem I come across, by the way, is this here. These are the air antenna coupling coils, and as you can see, they're not entirely in the better condition. What I've done here, by the way, to get it to give us something,
adjustments. Are you
I've got the meter connected up there to act as an aerial, and it works as an aerial connected
case by case basis. There is
there as well. Okay, so that's something. Now from there, it goes long wave through a short circuit on the chassis on medium wave only, and then it goes to the aerial. None of this is working, so this is the next thing we've got to deal with. Now, a set like this, of course, would not be something that could be repaired if you were just a capacitor changer and nothing else, because of course there are other faults here as well. I want to change two valves, by the way, the EZ80 to get the HT up to where it should be, and the EL84. There is actually an ABC80 on the way as well, by the way, because it is also past its best. But the IF seems to work on AM. I don't know about FM yet. I think the FM valve is filled as well, by the way, on this, because they're getting nothing at all. It's an ECC85 on these, or in the Cossor stroke American language 6AQ8, which is I've got one somewhere, I'm sure, but we can put in to try it. But first thing, of course, is get it working on AM first, which I've nearly got done. Like I said, with this one, if somebody come along to you and said all the capacitors and it worked, they would rather make a fool of themselves, because the problems with this set are not capacitors. Yes, the capacitor has to be changed, I know that, but in this case it is not capacitors. Wiring here, wiring underneath the chassis, and of course the wave change switch as well is not doing everything it should, because of course that might be why the FM is not getting through, because it's I need to have a look at that as well. Now, yeah, changing capacitors therefore will not fix this set. We get two kinds of inquiries on the internet, by the way, about this sort of thing. One is change all the capacitors and it'll work, which in most cases I admit it does. Then you get, I change the capacitors, it still doesn't work, what do you do now? And that is when you have to rely on what's called fault finding. Now, fault finding is working through the set and going through all the faults on the way and sorting them all out. This has been worked on by somebody else before me, but you know, so what they are, I don't know, but obviously we've got to find out at some stage. But in this case, quite frankly, it's a bit of a mess, quite frankly, this set right now. I don't know who's done it all, but somebody has, and I've got a lot to put right yet. But when it's working, that's always a bonus. So you know, always.
As they arrive and they're pretty good, and they
always look at it that way.
As they leave,
it is working,
and they're all getting
and therefore,
you know, the bus.
We'll have an AM set as well.
And you know, I was looking at the.
We could also, by the way, on this put on take the gram off and put on a Bluetooth module as well. I'm not going to do that because I've got people doing. I personally don't, because I think that a radio should be kept as it is. That's something which many people have different views on, but I'm afraid I do tend to have the rather more traditionalist view of such things. But anyway, it is now working moderately well, and hopefully from that now, so we're working better very soon. On long wave, by the way, it does work, but it's very, very, very weak. And short wave, again, there's nothing, but short wave doesn't go through here, it goes to another coil underneath, so there might be a problem there as well. But it is now working, not properly, and not properly, but we now have a set that does work, and that is always a good thing. So we're on the homeward stretch now. The homeward stretch might take a while, but at least we're on the homeward stretch with this this Cossor set, by the way. It's a Cossor 523/524 Melody and Master, by the way, and quite a nice set these, but this one I'm afraid is going to need a lot of work yet, but it's getting there. By the way, we're on the subject of things that work and things that don't in these things. This here, by the way, goes down to the speaker, which is down here. Wherever possible, I try and use the set's own speaker with it if it's working. Andy had a problem recently, which is due to him using the speaker that was not with the record plate he was working on, because that was 25 ohm speaker and was putting a headtone on, and it was doing funny things. So always, if possible, try and use the speaker that's with the set. Right, well, at this stage in the proceedings, a couple of days later, because I've had a problem with my foot and I'm on antibiotics, so I'm not at my best. But underneath here now, the wiring is completed. But then, of course, when I came to use the settings, it worked okay. It worked extremely badly, and the reason for that was that the antenna cord had damaged as well.
Down the left for Mopai to chase. Henderson goes with him.
That's what it's like now. Since I've done, it's for the correct circuit, because there's two for this set, and this set one appears to be wrong, and so now I put them down to the aerial socket down here. And also what I've done is I've put in a stub, a receiving stub, which will go at the top of the set, which is there, you see. Not the glasses, there, you see. Linked to medium wave and long wave. Now, long wave on this isn't too good, but it is there, but medium wave, as you've heard, is rather good. Shortwave, by the way, even with my meter pub in the back, last night I was listening to Romania on it, so I think shortwave is okay, don't you? But with this set, there's something else too, which is rather, well, a couple of things. First of all, it was on a low setting, which is a common trick in the day, because people used to use that to keep a set working when the valves were going down. So quite a few of these valves have got past the best. I've changed 3 so far in this. I might end up changing another one, I don't know if I might not. Because I've got VHF to look at next. But on these sets, the shortwave coil is underneath, and that's okay. Now the IF, of course, is 470 kilohertz, but the antenna core side of it is different in the boots, of course. This one is Molly and Pool, and of course the tray seat, which is here as well. So 2 different circuits for the same radio. Isn't life fun? But I've got through it. I've got it sorted on long wave, medium wave, and short wave, as you can hear.
And down, he kicks up the pitch and drops into Alexander, who plays into Kater.
The speaker, by the way, is down on the floor. I'm using it on its own speaker. I did that because quite often with these sets, you need to be on their own speaker, particularly record players, by the way, as Andy found out fairly recently as well. So far, the IFs are as near as I can get them, because most of the cores haven't been played with and mucked about with. And now, of course, we're on to VHF. Now, VHF on this set, by the way, is very, very, very. It's not dead, but it is, however, somewhat deaf. So that's something else which we have to deal with at this point. And the problem is, I don't know yet whether the VHF problem is because of this box here, and I found a couple of caps come with it inside, or because of the something with the IF side and the wave change switch back to, by the way, also needs to be looked at as well. But if I go in at 10.7, It's there, see? That's 10.7, as you can hear, it's there. By the way, for an FM carrier, by the way, but with an AM signal generator, if you put the signal generator bit off, you can actually get the signal using the AM modulation and FM modulation together. So it's an AM signal, but with it out of the way, on the edge of the FM of the set, of course, it will actually come up and show it, which is what it's doing here. So that's where we're up to with it now. So the next point now, before I put this set away and to start on the mechanical stuff, is find out why it is not doing anything on FM. Well, now I've been through the IF section and checked it, and it's fine. And with the generator on the lowest signal it can put out, I still have the signal getting through. As you can hear when I turn it up somewhat. So it's still there. So the IF side is fine. Now the RF side actually is powered by a resistor which got up in value. So I'll change that, although I don't think it is that. And then from that we can go further back and find out exactly what is wrong in this box here. These capacitors are starting to fail, so it could be anything in this box here. It could be anything. So I'll change that, and then we'll see what happens from there. Before I continue with this set, I thought I might take a bit of time to demystify the VHF box on these. Every vintage radio has a separate box for VHF, and usually there's no trouble, but sometimes there is, and some of the capacitors now are failing. So this is the Cossor I'm working on, and the bit we want is this bit here, valve 1, yeah, which is an UCC85 or a UCC85, or in the older sets UF or EF80s, but it's the same principle. Okay, VHF comes in from the aerial, the dipole there, which is on the back of the set. It's the spring on the back of the set there, and the cable, that's the VHF aerial for the set. Although you can put another one in because it's plugged in on the back here. Now, the first stage in V1, V1A, is an amplifier stage, nothing more. And so there should always be more signal on the anode than the grid if you're going in there, okay? More signal on the anode than the grid because it's being amplified. From there, you go to the second stage, B1 part B, which is I'm going blind, I think. This one here, yeah. Now this one here is the oscillator stage, and this stage makes the signal down from 100 megs or whatever, radio 2, smooth FM, classic, whatever, down to 10.7 megs, which in this set is proved okay, by the way. And then it goes through this set and it's modulated, which is something else which I might possibly touch on at some stage, but maybe not right now. This bit here, that's the oscillator stage, and that is the stage which does the converting. The trimmer here inside, and three capacitors, and also the coils, and that is the bit that does work. And in this case, that is the bit that isn't doing what it should do. Also with this set, I noticed that a bit's missing from it, so that's probably why this set has not worked on VHF probably since new, but I'm certainly going to try and give it every shot and getting this thing working again, because it's more use to the user now if it has a working VHF FM. It goes from 88 megahertz to find my glasses. Getting old, you see. This one goes from 88 to 9 to just below 100. It's not because in those days the next bit was used for of all purposes PMR and the police surprisingly as well. So that's why that's why. Now they cleared of course and you get a lot, and you can tweak the thing down to get things like smooth or classic FM. You can tweak it a bit, which I might well do on this actually. Radio tweak the other end of course. In the old days of course on VHF to the home, third and light, radio 4, radio 3 of course, and the light program became radio 1 and radio 2, and one or more local services, but most listening was on AM. It's different now. Most of what I listen to is on FM or AM stroke DAB. It's AM in here, by the way. I listen to a program of oldies. That one there, you see. So that's why. Okay. Now that's on DAB, by the way, as well, if you're interested in such things. But now, also on top of that, there's the stage for demodulating the FM. Demodulating AM is simple. It's just simply a case of stand up, thank you. Simply a case with DAB, but on FM, the UABC80 or EABC80, depending on the set you've got, contain 3 diodes. One of them is for AM, no problem there. 2 of them I use on FM on this circuit, which is not shown here, where the trimmer and the electricity cap, which is always connected with a positive to deck. Don't forget that. There's a one cap which goes from positive to deck, and from there, of course, it comes out of there, and the valve, of course, with dials in, and then is amplified applied in the usual way. But remember that capacitor stabilizing cap on the oscillator stage, on the demod stage, is one that's connected the wrong way around. So it's that's something there to look out for. Positive goes to deck, and the resistor too as well, by the way. But basically it. The 2 diodes hang off one side of this or IFT here. There are ways to tune them. I usually just go for maximum smoke and then hopefully that'll do. But there are ways with kit which I haven't got, so you can look at that. I think what you do is you go for pictures. I wonder if we've got them. Hang on, let's see if we've got them. They go for pictures like, let's see if we can find them. Go for pictures. I'll hold the book up. You see, like those there. I'll try and so I'll try and show you them all. There you are. And there's 5 there actually. And we'll go through them in turn. Oscillator stage, of course, it comes out at something like that, or that, yeah. And that is how it demodulates. And quite often they can get a few little problems here, not a lot, but a few. Anyway, now with this set, I'm going to look through it. I'm going to find out which bits are missing. And the art in the oscillator stage, by the way, which is why this thing is deaf and possibly the wrong frequency. Very deaf, actually, so deaf that you can't hear a thing from it. And hopefully we'll get this box working. If we can't, what I might do is take all the components out and rebuild it so that it will work, and then hopefully tweak the dial. That's the other way to do it. But these boxes the valve on these, an ECC 85 or UCC 85, it's very similar in what it does to the UCL, UCH or ECH 85. It's a very similar system, but it's smaller because it's high frequency, that's why. But they both work in a similar way. But if to turn this round, which I will do very quickly. It's not switched on, so nothing to worry about, I don't think. And there you see, that is the inside of the box in question. Tuning slugs, there and there. Oscillator circuit is here, and amplifier circuit is here as well. That's all there is in these boxes, nothing more. Normally they don't give a problem, but sometimes they do, and so things to look for. Well, first of all, occasionally get a situation where the box will only work with certain valves of the same kind, because there are some differences between the valves themselves, either UCC or ECC 85. So you can get 2 or 3 and get one that works and put it in, it'll be fine. Not in this case because the bit's missing, but I did try that. Also it's set, by the way, that the valve that's here, the Telefunken one, let's try and find the original ECC. That's an ECC 85, by the way, in all its glory. And the version you get for the Bremer version is a 6AQ8. There you are, 6AQ8. It's the same valve inside but with different numbers, so look out for that as well. I say all these sets have a different numbering, so you know, that's where the valve data comes in. But anyway, that is how the thing is at the moment, and tomorrow, because today is Sunday, we're going to get another 3 capacitors and build this up again, and hopefully it'll work. Hopefully. You never know with electronics, pretty vintage, you never know what is wrong, but I'm pretty sure that, I shouldn't say it really, should I? But the bits missing here stopping it from working, so I will get this working again, come hell I water. With those bits missing, this set has probably never worked on VHF FM from new. How it got in a factory like this and how it got used like this, I don't know, but it did. So there we are. It's on we go with the set, and hopefully now I've taken a break from doing the set to demystify these boxes. Normally the cover on the front as well, which is to cover it, but I've taken it off because I'm working on it. It's here. So normally it's something like that with that on like that. You see, it's fully screened. Anyway, there you go. That's how one works. Now, back to the set before I go completely mad. Right, well, with this set now, I've looked in here. I found a coil opening circuit when I put a cap across them to carry the 10.7 through okay. And as you can hear, the 10.7 does go through fairly well. Not 100%, because one of these transformers, possibly both, need a bit of work inside the cans, which I will do, but the RF is there. The RF, however, isn't. I can go up and down the dial, and there will be nothing there because the circuit here is also faulty. Now, why, I don't know. I think it's that trimmer there, but I'm not 100% sure as of yet, but I will be. But I'm going to put this set on hold for now because unfortunately other sets are building up and I've spent too much time on this, but I will get it going, I promise you. As it stands, that's BHF, which is waiting to be looked at.
During last week, I was not sure. Well, I'm
that's
not
medium
sure.
wave.
Yeah. What do you think, Emma?
I mean, well,
And if I take them off there and put a meter probe in here, we should get some shortwave. We might not do yet because They're shortwave, you see. It's a bit weak as of yet, but it will get stronger as the night wears on. Something else there. I don't know, but there's something else there. It needs a bigger aerial than the meter, but it does actually work. Medium wave, of course, is also fine, which we found out. So for now, this set is almost 2/3 there, but this box has got problems. The problems it has actually stopped the set from working originally, and other things have done to sort the set out have made it worse. But I've got most of them sorted out now. So as it stands, the AM side of it is as good as we'll get it, which is pretty good actually, even if I say so myself. I've changed all the valves except one, but the other one is coming because this set had them all over voltage, which is never a good idea. What these used to do back in the day with sets like this was it used to, if the voltages in the valves needed to be increased because the valves were worn down, they will put the tap down a notch or two, and that will put more current to the valves, more heater current to the valves, and it was a miracle cure. But unfortunately, in the process, it cooked the valves. That's something that does happen a lot, and something which you should look out for. Like I said, this box has got some problems, and I spent many hours on it, and I can't see them as of yet, but I'm pretty sure now it's that, and possibly those issues are okay. I will probably take the thing apart and rebuild it, and of course the cams as well. But like I said, I've got so much time spent on this. I've got other things to do, which I'm going to get on with now. So I will be back to this, I promise. But it's halfway there and done. So for now, this is going to be off the bench, and we'll be going back on sometime in the not too distant future. And while I was struggling with this, something happened on the net which I really need to talk about. In the vintage TV world, a few years ago, Shango 66 got his channel taken down due to a fault on YouTube servers, and it happened 2 or 3 weeks ago to John Piers as well, and that's back now because we all went in, we all emailed YouTube and made videos and stuff. I sent a rather interesting email to YouTube, and I don't know why, but it came back pretty quickly. So, but do remember there was a poem that was written, and it was about first they came for a socialist, and then, but I did not speak up because I was not a socialist. Then I came for trade unionists. I didn't speak up because I'm not a trade unionist. It's a poem, but it's true. What happened to Jordan Piers and what happened to Shango as well could happen to any of us, any at all. Indeed, Andy today was having a moan about having 15 seconds of a video meant that it couldn't go up and go out because, of course, somebody complained about 50 seconds of a song played on the radio, which is why I tend not to play music too much on these sets. It's ridiculous state of affairs, it really is. So YouTube, we want to be here, we want to share our knowledge and what we do in the vintage community with everybody else. They've got good customers with us. Please do think to keep us and make sure that what happened to these people does not happen to any again. And anybody else who's watching this, what's happened to them could happen to you. We've got to stick together, and we've got to show that this is not the way things are done. Especially not in Britain, but that's something. Anyway, I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to put it out of the way because I need to get on with other things, and I'll be back to it very soon, and of course it will get sorted in the process. So this is, how we say, part 1 of this video, and part 2 is to follow. So until next time, goodbye, God bless, keep ritzing radios, and look forward to seeing you very soon in Steve's Long Stay Workshop. Bye bye, and take care. Bye bye.